Hi, good morning. Hi, Jamie. And hopefully, hello, Sophie, Luke, Bethany, and Brett. Hi, Instagram. Cool. I'll give another minute for folks to trickle in. Anyone here have requests? Hi. Well, I don't know about you, but right now for me, it's Sunday morning, quarantine times, which has been a really wonderful time to do yoga. Hi, Colby. Always hammies, says Jamie King. I wonder why. Okay. Gentle hip openers, back stuff. Cool. Hi, Olivia. Wow, fun. Okay, I'm gonna go to my mat. Here I go. Thank you all for being here. I want you to start anywhere that you're comfortable, but my offer is child's pose, which means bringing your big toes together to touch, knees wide, and palms reaching forward. Belly's facing the mat, and you can really let your belly get soft and let your shoulders get soft. And during these first few minutes of integration, starting your yoga practice, bring to mind a reason why you practice. There's no right or wrong answer. But it's important because you're here this morning. Your time is valuable. Remember why you're spending your time this way. Today is my sister's birthday, and my sister has always been my number one mantra for practicing yoga. When I had a really bad breakup in college, she bought me a gift certificate to a yoga studio that was a few blocks off my college campus, and that was how I started practicing yoga. And more classes than not, my intention is to practice to be with her in some way. She's here today, which is cool. So as you call that to mind, whatever it is for you, maybe something physical, maybe something mental or otherwise, maybe a person, start to breathe into that intention with your breath. And so see if you can keep your thoughts focused on one word or one sentence, one mantra for a full inhale and a full exhale. And then on your next inhale breath, start again. Bring to mind your one intention for this morning. And just keep it in your mind as you feel all the air exit your lungs. See if you can take 3 more breaths. Inhaling one pointedness, focus. Exhale, keep your focus. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Last one. On your next inhale, start to invite some movement in. Let it be really small to start, so maybe just feeling your fingertips reach a little bit further forward on your mat. Maybe you stretch a little bit side to side, feeling weight in your hips shift side to side. Maybe you allow your forehead to rock side to side on your mat. You might clench your fists and release them. And just with really gentle movement, be aware of the subtle nature of how movement reintegrates in your body. You might scan your body again and just notice if there's any tension in your face or your shoulders. Just remember that you can always come back to letting go, doing a body scan and finding anywhere that you don't need to be clenching or straining. It is inevitable that you'll have to revisit that intention over and over and over again for the next 50 minutes or so. And then when you feel ready, you're going to shift these movements so that your weight comes all the way forward, and we'll meet in a tabletop position. Wrists stacked beneath your shoulders, knees stacked beneath your hips. And allow your shins to be parallel, so your ankles are tracking directly aligned with your knees, and then tuck your toes. So you should feel some flexion in the tops of the feet. You might feel like some flushing after being on the tops of the feet for so long. And then just start to shift your weight back towards your heels, so seat towards your heels, and push your palms into the mat. So you're really pressing your shoulders and your upper body back. And then inhale, shift your weight forward and hover your knees above the mat just an inch. Exhale, lower the knees down, shift your weight back, lower your heart. And then inhale, come forward, hover the knees 2 inches above the mat. 2 more times just like that. Come back as you inhale and shift forward as you exhale. Hug your lower belly in. Last one, inhale, rock your weight back. Inhale, exhale, come forward and hover your knees above the chest, hug your low belly in and pause. So you can hold here. If this is too much, you can always lower your knees back down. You need a little bit more. Right knee, right armpit, left knee, left armpit. And just find a little march here. Try to keep your spine long and stable. And you can really use your exhale breaths to hug the knees in. Last 3 each side. 2, 2, 1, 1. Hips to sky, down dog. You might need to adjust your stance, walking your hands, one hand forward, maybe your feet a little bit further back. As you arrive in down dog, watch the mind. This might be a really familiar position in your body, and that might be an invitation for your mind to start to wander. This might be a really sensational position. Whatever your experience is, try to stay present in the sensations and remember why you're practicing yoga. Stronger tops of the feet, lift your toes. Lift your toes so your heels get heavier. And the base knuckle of your thumb and index finger get heavier. So press into the L shape of your palm. Send your shoulders and your hips up and back. Your head is the last thing to come into down dog. Tuck your chin so your gaze is towards your navel. Strengthen the tops of your feet. Strengthen your shins, like you're pressing your shins back. And hug your kneecaps up your quads. Just 10 more minutes. Down dog. Just kidding. On your next inhale, forward, chin is off the chest. Exhale, right foot steps back, down dog. Inhale, left foot steps forward, chin is off the chest, stiff your hips. Exhale, down dog. Stay as wide as you can in the feet. Inhale to a lunge, chin off the chest. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left foot forward. Exhale, left foot back. One more round. Inhale, right foot forward, heavy in your hips, light in your heart. Exhale, down dog. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, shift your weight forward, high plank pose, and pause. Press your heels back, reach your collarbones forward, and push into the mat with your hands. Try to hug your pubic bone up, so you're engaging across the low belly and the upper thighs. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Always option to lower your knees down to get there. On an inhale, find cobra pose, tops of the feet push down, heart lifts. Exhale, lower your chest back down. We're gonna take 5 cobras. Inhale to lift, strong feet, hug your elbows in. Exhale, gently lower. 3 more, inhale, cobra. Keep the front body really strong. Exhale, lower down. 2 more, feel your shoulder blades squeeze together as you lift up, thighs lift. Exhale, lower. Meditate on strong feet and strong butt. Inhale, last one, cobra. Exhale, lower the chest back down. Inhale, press up, high plank. Maybe tabletop, maybe you press up the high plank on the tops of your feet. And exhale, roll over the tops of the feet, downward facing dog. On an inhale, reach your right foot high to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot outside your right hand, dip your hips, chin is off the chest. Inhale, right leg high to the sky. Exhale, right foot plants outside the right hand, dip your hips, lift your heart. Inhale, right foot high. Exhale, right foot plants outside the right hand. On an inhale, step your left foot forward, Vinyasa squat. And exhale, forward fold with slightly wider feet, bow your chin in towards your chest. Strong legs, press down to lift up. Inhale, rise, arms sweep out and up. Exhale, hands to heart, eyes close or gaze at your middle fingers. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back and then your right foot high plank. Inhale, shift your weight forward. Exhale, lower halfway all the way down. Inhale, throw a back bend, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, roll over the tops of the feet, stretch out the ankles, downward facing dog. Left heel reaches high to the sky on an inhale. Exhale, left foot plants outside the left hand, dip your hips, lift your heart. Inhale, left foot high. Exhale, left foot outside the left hand. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Try to keep your left foot light. Exhale, step the left foot outside the left hand. Pause. Step your right foot forward. Vinyasa squat. Hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold, hips to sky. Arms sweep out and up. Strong legs. Push down into your feet to rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Gaze softens. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, plant your hands, step your right foot back, and then your left high plank. Inhale, shift your weight forward. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come to tabletop. Exhale, press your hips back towards your heels. Inhale, shift forward, hover your knees above the mat. Exhale, press back. Keep your toes tucked. Inhale, shift forward, lift your knees. Exhale, lower back. Inhale, shift your weight forward, hover your knees and pause. Maybe hold here, or this time maybe find mountain climbers from here. Hopping the legs in towards your elbows. For 5, downward facing dog in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet plant, hips to sky, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward. Exhale, standing splits, left foot high to the sky. So adding on to this series. Lift your foot as Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Push down into the tops of your feet. Exhale, downward facing dog. Your head is the last to arrive. On an inhale, step your left foot forward. Chin is off the chest. Exhale, standing splits, right foot high to the sky. Stay for your breath in. Ground down into your left foot. Forward fold as you breathe out. Arms sweep out and up, chair pose. Bend your knees, lift your heart. Hands to heart, sink a little bit lower. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Vinyasa as you breathe out. Plant your hands, step or float back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog or cobra, inhale. Downward facing dog, head is last. Exhale. Inhale, sweep your right foot high to the sky. Exhale, right foot outside the right hand. Inhale here, dip your hips, lift your heart. Exhale, left foot steps forward, Malasana squat. This time all the way to stand, push into your feet, rise up, inhale. Exhale, arms sweep wide, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back and pause. Hug your right heel in towards your right seat and hold here. If you want a little bit more, you might extend your right knee long and try to tap your right wrist. For 3, three-legged dog and 2, and 1. Right foot high to the sky, inhale. Exhale, step your right foot between your palms, low lunge. Spin your left heel down, inhale, warrior 2. Rising up, first standing lunge this series. I'm warm. I hope you are too. Get a deep bend in your right knee as much as you can, but don't worry too much about it. First time in warrior 2, just like feel out the hips. You're working on keeping your left butt cheek really strong and the left outer edge of the left foot really strong. Your right heel really strong. And your shoulders and your face are soft. If it's okay, maybe arms spread out wide. And your fingertips are reaching as far as they can in opposite directions. So you should feel length along the entire length of the arm, coming from the fingertips. On an inhale, flip your right palm, left hand to left thigh, right arm reaches up and back, reverse warrior. And pause. See if you can reestablish strength in your back leg and your right heel. And then find a little bit more length in the right side body. Maybe reach a little bit further back. One more breath in. Exhale, windmill your hands down to frame the right foot. Inhale, right foot steps back, maybe three-legged plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Up dog or cobra, inhale. Down dog, roll over your feet if you can, exhale. On an inhale, left heel sweeps high to the sky. Exhale, plant your left hand outside your left palm. Inhale, dip your hips, lift your heart. Exhale, right foot steps forward. Hands to heart center, inhale, press yourself up all the way to stand, long spine. And exhale, feet come parallel, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, plant your hands, step your right foot back, and pause. You can just hold here, or try to hug your left heel in towards your left butt cheek. You can hold here, or maybe you start to extend the left knee and try to tap your left wrist for 3, three-legged dog in 2, and 1, left heel high to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, left foot steps between your palms, low lunge. Spin your right heel down and rise up, warrior 2. And remember, every time you come into any pose where you're transitioning, at any time there's this opportunity to tune into your breath. Maybe your breath has quickened. That's great. It's a lot of the reason why we show up here, is to test how much breath we can feel through our bodies. It's an opportunity to remember why you're practicing. your vinyasa. Upward facing dog, strong butt. Squeeze your butt. Exhale, downward facing dog. Head is the last to arrive. 3 breaths, down dog. Let your heart rate slow a little bit. Feel the breath entering and leaving your body. So when you're ready, you're going to step your right foot outside the right palm on an inhale, and exhale, step the left foot forward. Inhale, right foot steps back. Exhale, left foot steps back. Inhale, left foot steps forward. Exhale, right foot steps forward. Inhale, left foot steps back. Exhale, right foot steps back. Okay? We're going to just move through that, and don't think too much about it. Just try to move quickly and ground down into whatever is touching the mat. If that's not enough, you can also play with hops. So we're going to do this for about a minute. If you would like to, you can bend both knees, both feet land outside the hands, both feet land back and downward facing dog. Okay, ready? I'm going to cue the stepping. So inhale, right foot forward, exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, right foot back, exhale, left foot back. Inhale, left foot forward, exhale, right foot forward. Inhale, left foot back, exhale, right foot back. Inhale, right foot forward, exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, right foot, exhale, left foot. Inhale, left forward, exhale, right forward. Inhale, left, exhale, right. Inhale, right, exhale, left. Inhale, right, exhale, left. Last one. Inhale, step your left foot forward. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Inhale, left foot back. Exhale, right foot back. Inhale, right foot sweeps high to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose, step your foot between your palms. Inhale, warrior 2, come up. Stay for your exhale, sink into your lunge. Flip your right palm, reverse your warrior, long right side body. Exhale, extended side ankle. Right elbow to right thigh, left arm reaches up. You can also extend your right arm long, any variation here. Option to hold or Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. You lift up off your left foot. Right foot maybe hovers above the floor or comes down to the floor or a prop. You can bring your left hand to your low back. You can keep your left arm reaching high, or maybe left arm starts to reach forward towards the top of your mat. And then your left foot is pressing back, very strong. And then think about externally rotating your right thigh and get longer in your right side body. So push into the foot, lift your right side up, take a breath in, exhale, bend into the right knee, warrior 2. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, heels and toes out, horse pose. Inhale, push into the feet, lift up. Exhale, horse, bend as deeply as you can into the knees. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the knees. Last one, inhale, reach. Exhale, horse pose and pause. And just remember that whatever you're doing is exactly right, okay? Take breaks. Do whatever you need to do. You're in the comfort of your own practice area. There's really no judgment except your own. And why not just choose to like it? Why not? You deserve to feel loved. We all do. So I'm just finding some gentle pulses here and starting to build some heat in the thighs. You want to feel it a little bit more in your seat. Try to ground down into your heels and shift your weight back. So like your spine is gonna press up against a wall behind you. On an inhale, straighten your legs, feet come parallel. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. This time wider than you had been before. And from here, find some gentle bends into each knee. So plant your palms, don't move your palms. Just bend your knees one at a time. Try to keep them bending in the same line as your toes. And only go so far that you don't feel anything weird in the knees or in your groin. So this should feel like juicy, fluid movement. If it feels like pinching or anything on the brink of pain, don't go so far. And then come back to your wide-legged forward fold. Bow your chin in towards your chest. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, skandasana to the back of your mat. Flex your right toes to the sky, get heavy in your left heel. And you can play with getting your right hip as low as you can today. Even if that means that your left heel is hovering, that's fine. Just try to get your seat as low as you can. Press your palms in towards each other. Soften your shoulders. We're going to transition into Padangusthasana at the top of our mat. So you're going to bring your weight into your right foot and you're going to capture your big toe, your left foot with your left hand. So when you're ready, shift your weight to your right foot, left foot kicks forward, and you grab the left foot with the left hand. Wow! If that didn't happen for you the first time, like it did for me miraculously, do it again. And then when you get to standing, try to extend your left leg long. And if you have the space, take the space. If you don't, I don't. This is fine for me. You can also keep the bend in the knee, bring the thigh parallel, or release the hand and just kick the leg forward and work on upper leg strength. Holding here for 3. Woo! Find your balance. If you come out, no worries. You just have a chance to re-enter. And then from here, cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Bend into your right knee for figure 4, standing figure 4. Palms at heart center, heavy weight in your right heel and your hips. Lift your heart, flex your left toes. Bend a little bit deeper into the right knee. Take an inhale. If you can, start to hinge your chest over the left thigh. Maybe fingertips come to the floor. If this is enough, stay. If this is too much, take a layer off. You can also do this on your seat, no big deal. If you want a little bit more, you might play with wrapping both hands around the back of your right ankle. Maybe interlace the palms. And then you can play with straightening out the right leg and coming into a Uttanasana, forward fold, with this Galabhasana left leg. On an inhale, you're going to come all the way back up, hug your left knee into your chest, and exhale, let the left foot lower, palms down at your sides, Tadasana. Lift your heart, get heavy in your heels, eyes are focused on one unmoving point or gaze closes. Find your breath. Take a breath in. Without changing your focus, so try to keep your eyes like the same distance away from your face or closed. You're going to come into standing splits. Right foot is your base. So hinge over your right leg. Palms come to the floor. Left foot reaches high. So it's similar to where we just were, except this time your left leg is high. Take a big breath in. Exhale, lift your left heel a little bit higher. Take a big breath in. Exhale, lift your left leg a little bit higher. Big breath in. This time, exhale, land on the top of your left foot at the back of your mat. Bend deeply into the right knee, chin is off the chest. Stay here, or hands come to the top of the right thigh. It's okay if your right knee is in front of your right ankle, as long as you stay very strong in your left foot. Push your left foot down. Take a big breath in, and then lower the left knee down, shift your weight back towards your left heel. Tuck your left toes this time. So you're in like toes pose just on the left foot, and flex your right toes towards your face. You can play with pointing and flexing the right toes, maybe windshield wipering the foot side to side. As much as you can, bow forward over the right leg. So there's a balance in where you're sending your mental energy between the strength of your left foot and left ankle and length in the back of your right leg. And then start to shift your weight forward. You're going to bring your left shin parallel to the short edge of your mat and extend your right foot out wide for gate pose. Lift your heart up. Right hand goes down the right thigh, left arm reaches up and over. Just pause here. If you can, retuck your left toes. It might feel like a lot on the left foot, it might not. If you can, keep them tucked. And then inhale, arms sweep up. As you exhale, it's like what we were doing at the beginning of class, except your right leg is extended. So palms come down and your weight shifts back towards your left heel. And then on an inhale, you rise up, keep your right foot grounded. Exhale, send your hips back. Inhale, shift your weight forward. Maybe when you lift up this time, right leg lifts. And then exhale, plant the foot, shift your hips back. Okay, any variation that works for you. Inhale, shift your hips forward. Right foot maybe lifts. Maybe it stays lifted this time as you shift your weight back. That one's hard for me. Inhale, shift your weight forward. Exhale, hips towards your left heel. Just two more, whatever variation you can muster. Inhale, forward, maybe foot lifts. Exhale, hips back. Last one. Inhale, forward. Exhale, hips back. Bring your right knee in, so it's hips width distance underneath your left, so you should be facing the long edge of your mat, and shift your weight back so you're in toes pose. Your legs are hips width distance though. If you can, maybe shoulders back above your hips. Take a big breath in. And then roll over your feet, forward fold. You're still facing the long edge of your mat. On an inhale, step your left foot wide. So you're in wide-legged forward fold. And exhale, fold again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, second time, Skandasana towards the back of your mat. Right foot flexes high to the sky. Try to get your seat as low as you can. Take a breath in. And same thing, you're gonna catch your left foot with your left hand. Shift your weight to your right foot, kick your left foot forward, maybe peace fingers around your left big toe, maybe you catch your left shin. This time, start to open your left foot out to the left. Use your left glute, and it's totally fine if the leg is extended, if it's bent, whatever. Just work on opening through the left hip socket. Take an inhale. Come back to center as you exhale. Arms sweep up, big breath in. Maybe kick the leg forward. Standing splits as you exhale, left foot high to the sky. It's a lot on the right leg. So option to hold the standing splits. If you would like to, you can play with handstand hop-ups, planting your hands, trying to kick your seat with your right heel. You can hold, you can still hold, or you can take 3 squats, hugging your left knee in behind your right. On your next breath, however it makes sense, transition through a vinyasa if you want it, or step back to downward facing dog. Maybe plant your hands and hop back into your chaturanga. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. If you want to take a breath in child's pose, feel free. We're just going to do that all on the opposite side now. It's going to be party time. So we're going to start with those feet outside the hands. So you know how to step your feet and try to switch which foot steps forward each time. Left foot outside the left palm, right foot outside the right palm. Or as you exhale, maybe this time you play with pocket, feet outside the hands. Okay? Use your breath. 3, 2, 1. Be back in downward facing dog. Left heel sweeps high to the sky, or shorter this time. Exhale, left knee to your nose. Step your foot through low lunge. Inhale, spin up, warrior 2. Exhale, stay for your exhale. We're gonna hold warrior 2. Inhale, flip your palm, reverse your warrior. And exhale, now extended side angle. And pause, really get situated. Notice what's happening with your breath and try to greet your breath with kindness. Thank you, breath, for giving oxygen to my body. If you would like to, you might shift into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So you lift up off the right foot, left hand comes underneath your face, maybe to a block, maybe to the floor. Flex your right toes and make a choice with your right arm. It's on your low back, it's reaching up, or right bicep next to your right ear. Whatever it is, it's mirroring the strength in your right leg. So be strong through your right arm, strong through your right leg. And then from the strength of these upper limbs working, find more space in your left side body. So lift your left oblique out of your leg. Reach forward with your chest so you find length in the left side. One more inhale. Exhale, deep bend in the left knee, step your right foot back, warrior two. Inhale, 5-pointed star. I'm going to turn around so I'm not looking at a wall. And exhale, goddess squat or horse. Inhale, arms sweep up. You've got this. Exhale, heels in, toes out, hips low. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, goddess squat and hold. Pause here. Let's bring hands to thighs and let your chest come forward. So you're reaching your seat back and you're counterbalancing it with your heart reaching forward. And then drop your right shoulder down. Twist towards the front of your mat. And then inhale, come to center. Exhale, drop the left shoulder down. Two more. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Bring your gaze all the way over your shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Get lower in your seat if you can. Last round. Really flowing through it. There's no final destination. This is just this nice fluid movement. And then come back to center. Hands to heart. Sink as low as you can. Push into your feet. 5-pointed star. Inhale. Wide-legged forward fold. Exhale. Plant your hands underneath your face and gently start to bend into your left knee and then bend into your right knee. If it's feeling like it would be fun for you, maybe when you bend into one knee, you bring the opposite foot to meet it. And then you have your knees kind of in this bend. The hand stays exactly where they are. And then you step the foot back, maybe you bend it, and launch off the opposite foot. If this is not making sense, don't do it. Just hang out in forward fold. We'll meet back in Prasarita Padottanasana, hands underneath your shoulders. Use an inhale breath to lengthen your spine, halfway lift. And exhale, Skandasana to the back of your mat, then deeply into your right leg this time. Left toes flex up towards the ceiling. And pause here. Get as heavy as you can in your left hip. And as low as you can with your right heel. But if it can't plant, don't worry about it. Maybe hands come to heart center. As you get heavier in your seat, you get lighter in the crown of your head. And then we're transitioning to Padangusthasana. There's a lot of other qualifiers to that variation, and I'm just not going to remember them. Mom break. And when you're ready, you'll shift into your left foot, kick your right foot forward, and catch your right foot or your right shin with your right hand at the top of your mat. Okay, maybe right leg extends. Maybe you just explore what it would take to extend the right leg. Oh my gosh. And then release the bind, release your hand, arms reach up, inhale. Exhale, cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Bring your hands to heart center for Galavasana legs. If it's okay, sink your hips a little bit deeper. Keep your right foot really flexed. This is going to be a lot of sensation on the right outer hip. So maybe this is enough to stay upright. If you feel it, you feel it. That's baller. If you want to, you might start hinging forward with control, with a
with a lot of control, unlike what I demonstrated. And find yourself with fingertips on the floor. If it's accessible to you, you might work towards a straight left leg and bringing your nose towards your left knee. If you're finding that variation, try to keep your weight equally distributed across both sides. So if you notice you don't have any weight in your right hand, you would shift some weight towards the right and ground down on all four corners of the left foot. On an inhale, come back up. Hug your right knee into your chest. And exhale, forward fold. Right foot plants. Lower the right foot down. Halfway lift, just reset the spine. Find your breath, inhale. And forward fold as you exhale. This time, reach your right foot high to the side, standing splits. So similar to where we just were, except this time your right foot is free. And with its freedom, it's going to reach as hard as it can towards the ceiling, but just your right heel, not the pinky toe side edge of the foot, just the right heel. So your right hip stays low. You're really getting into the back of your legs. Inhale, lift the right foot a little bit higher. On your next exhale, bend into your left knee and land on the top of the right foot at the back of your mat. And this might be more than enough. You can even lower your back knee down and just hang out. This is a lot. If you have it, you might press into the top of the right foot so your right knee is lifted. Maybe your hands come to your right thigh or maybe your arms up even overhead, okay? Try to keep your heart light and your right foot so strong, right foot so strong. And then hands lower your right knee, tuck your right toes, send your hips towards your right heel. So you're in Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits, with the right toes tucked. And as much as you can, you're sitting your weight on that right foot and lengthening your left heel forward. If you have the space, you bow your chest towards your left knee and you're lengthening the back of your left hamstring. This is a lot on my right foot. My meditation is really on my right foot. Oh my gosh. And then start to shift your weight forward. We're coming into that gate pose again. So you'll turn your right shin to be parallel with the short edge of your mat. Extend your left leg long, and then a heart lifts. You can start with your hands at your hips. And the tendency here will be for your left hip to be hiked up higher than the right. So see if you can shift your weight, lift your right hip, and keep your left foot really grounded so that the hips are even. And then send your left hand down your left thigh. Right arm reaches up and over. Side body stretch on the right. Try to keep your hand above your left knee, so you might need to bend your elbow, unless you can get all the way down to the left ankle. And then you can grab the ankle. Take one more inhale. And exhale, come back up. Hands plant underneath your shoulders. And tuck your right toes. Okay, so back to these child's pose variations. We're gonna take about 6 rounds. So maybe start just by inhaling your weight back, keeping your left leg down. Keep your palms rooted, and then inhale, lift up. Exhale, hips back. Inhale, lift up. Maybe you lift your left foot as your heart comes up. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, lift up. Your choice if you want to keep the leg lifted as you sink your hips back. Go for it. 2 more, whatever variation works for you. Keep your left foot really flexed, whatever you're doing, super engaged. And then the next time you're up, bring your left knee in so it's next to your right. Both toes are tucked. Send your weight back towards your heels. Toes pose, variation. Maybe all 10 fingertips come together to touch. Maybe you just hover your palms in front of your throat and close your eyes.
This time, start to shift your weight forward, so you're standing on your knees. Make sure your knees are about hips width distance. And we're gonna take Ustrasana, camel. Any variation that works for you. You can interlace your hands at your low back. You can bring your palms to your low back, either fingertips facing down or facing up, whatever is accessible to you. Most importantly, elbows are wrapping in, so you're broadening across your chest. And the motion here is your heart lifts up and your hips press forward. And that's really the main thing you're going for, is your heart lifts up and your hips press forward. As you do that, you'll notice that you're going to be back bending in the upper spine. So however far feels sustainable to you, we're going to hold for a minute. Ustrasana, 1 minute. You can do it. Strong in your shins. Squeeze your butt. What's your butt doing? Squeeze it. What's your face doing? Don't squeeze it. Soften the face. Feel light in the upper palate of your mouth and allow that lightness to lift your chest a little bit higher. Squeeze your butt. Keep squeezing. Push your hips forward. We're halfway. Keep breathing. It's really hard to breathe in back bend. It shouldn't feel easy. It's really hard to breathe all the time. Inhale your mantra. Exhale, keep it in mind. Last full breath in. Full breath out. On your next inhale, lift yourself back up. Plant your hands down in front of your knees. Send your hips up and back. Forward fold. Take a big breath in. And exhale, really round through your spine. Let your upper body get heavy. Shift your weight towards the balls of your feet. Maybe in assisted forward fold, you can interlace your peace fingers around your big toes. Bend your elbows out wide. Chest to thighs. Or hands slide underneath the feet. Toes to wrists. And elbows still bend out wide. Allow this to be a counterbalance to a back bend, so your upper body is rounded. Release the bind if you have one. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take a big step out towards the back of your mat with your right foot. If you're not on your mat, who cares? Who cares? I really am enjoying imagining my sister and her 3 roommates are all lined up in their living room, and I think that if they were to lift their noses right now, they would be in each other's butts, and that is a happy thought. Think about how you might be in a yoga studio, and how much you miss having your face in someone's butt. Am I right? Okay, so you can hang out here, or you can start to bend into the knees, or maybe you play with this stepping back and forth with straight legs. So the motion is ground down into one foot, step the opposite foot to meet it, keep your hands planted, and then maybe you lift the leg. Lower it down, step it back out. Opposite foot steps to meet the other one, lift the leg. You're keeping your hands rooted the whole time. Maybe you find 3 of those on each side. Maybe you really want to invert right now. Go for it. Headstand, tripod headstand. Or wide-legged forward fold. Or whatever else you're doing. It is enough. Once you've evened out on both sides, if you've taken both sides, or if you're upside down, start to make your way back to this wide-legged forward fold. And we're gonna do our fun transition again. So halfway lift is an inhale. Exhale, bend into your right knee, flex your left toes, Vinyasa. And then this time, it's not the dress rehearsal anymore. We're live on stage. Shift your weight into your left foot, catch your right foot with your right hand, or your right shin. Oh my God, good job. Whatever it was that time, it was perfect. a goal or something you can think about. I don't like the idea of there being goals. It's just, you can always think about something. Your right hip lowers. So your right hip stays in line with your left as you open your right leg out right. Maybe your right leg extends long. Maybe you hug your right knee back in. And then come back to center, standing knee raise. Send your right leg long. Strong top of your right leg. Arms reach up, inhale. As your arms lower, your right leg lifts. Exhale, standing splits. Options. We're going to be here for several breaths. You can hang out in the standing splits. You might play with binding your hands around the left ankle and pulling your chest down as you lift your right leg up. You might play with handstand hops, planting your hands, trying to kick your seat with your left heel. Or you might take several squats. If you did that on the other side, maybe you took 3. Whatever you're doing, be fully present in your own felt experience. What a gift! We get to feel our bodies. On your next round of breath, Vinyasa if you want it. If you don't want it, don't do it. Why would you do something you don't want to do on your yoga mat? Make your way back to downward facing dog. Okay, so from downward facing dog, you can come to child's pose if you want to break. If you want to play with an arm balance, I think you should play with crow. And maybe crow is really familiar to you. If it's not, you can start with your legs in a squat. Put your hands underneath your shoulders. And so your legs are about as wide as it takes for you to bend your knees and get your knees on the backs of your triceps. So elbows are bending, knees are bending. And this is a great place to stay. You can just stay here and play with lifting your heels and shifting your weight forward. Eventually, you might find a little hop, hugging your heels in towards your seat. You might get some hang time. Okay, if crow is really familiar for you, you can take these hops that you're doing in class, so your feet outside your hands, right into crow. Okay, so it would be hop forward, bend your elbows, and these come to your triceps. That's not in my postpartum body right now, but visualizing it is 80% of doing it. So take about 90 seconds longer to play. If you've started playing with crow and it was really hard and you stopped, try again. 1 more minute. Just give it another go. I will too. Maybe you want to play with taking your crow back in your chaturanga. Your crow to your chaturanga. Oh boy. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Slowly start to make your way there. Whatever transition makes sense. I'd like to take 1 hip opener on each side for about a minute. If pigeon is okay on your body, bring your right shin forward, right knee towards your right wrist. Send your left leg back, straight behind you. Push down to the top of your left foot, long on both sides of your left ankle. And then maybe you fold forward over the right leg, come down to your forearms or your forehead, if that's accessible to you. If pigeon is not part of your practice, you can take that Galabasana variation with your legs from your seat. So hands back behind you, figure 4. You can bring an ankle to the thigh and really ground down into one foot. And you're working towards lifting your chest up toward your shin or bringing that rooted foot in toward you. And if you want to come down onto your back, you can do supine Kalavasana as well. Take about 20 more seconds here. Find your breath. Let your exhales really really cultivate release. Soften your muscles. Let your belly get soft. Let your face get soft. Feel the weight of your pubic bone, your femur bones. Feel the weight of your skeleton rooting downward. One more full breath. Slowly start to walk your hands back in towards your face. If you're in pigeon, make your way back to downward facing dog. Or if you're on your seat, you can just switch legs. When you're ready, second side. Maybe left shin is coming forward, left knee towards your left wrist. Take a peek at the right leg so that it's not bowing out on either side of your hips and that your ankle is equally long on both sides so that your toes aren't splaying out either direction. And then you can stay upright or start to fold. 1 minute. Find space as you breathe in, so feel the air in your lungs, sending blood to areas that need more expansion. And as you exhale, soften and release what you don't need. The back of the skull, let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. Feel your ears get heavy. Allow the creases around the edges of your eyes to soften. Slowly start to walk your hands back in towards your face. Tuck your right toes, send your left foot up and back if you need it. Shake it out. Downward facing dog, lower down to your knees, spin your legs out in front of you, and slowly come down onto your back. So for the next minute, take what you need to close out your practice. It could be happy baby. You might rock back to plow pose for a forward fold. You might rock forward to a seated forward fold. You might take a belly up back bend like bridge pose or Urdhva Dhanurasana, wheel pose. You might take a twist on your back, letting your knees fall side to side. Take about 6 breaths, 3 on each side if you're doing something on either side. And then in your next couple of breaths, start to come onto your back. For your Shavasana. If you have the time, please stay as long as you can, lying flat on your back. I'll close class with you from seated. But again, please stay as long as you can. Maybe you give yourself the gift of a 10-minute Shavasana today. Why not? How often do you get to just lie on your back and be still? I'll bring my hands to my heart if it's okay. Maybe your hands rest by your sides or on your belly. Hands to my heart. I have so much gratitude for this practice. I have so much gratitude to the people in my life who have helped me honor and cultivate this practice for 10 years now. particularly Sophie Johnson, Sophie Golson. Happy birthday. Happy Sunday. Namaste.